podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Welcome. You're now tuned into the Boxing Voice. TheBoxingVoice.com.
Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Hashtag TBV Podcast. We are back. Sunday, Crow Day. Did anybody really pick? No, they didn't. No one was really excited for this weekend's fights, but we've been able to scrounge up a couple of headlines, get you a couple of results, and put together a decent Sunday flagship edition. First on the docket, Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker, Lucas Browne. Dun, dun, dun. Man, we need that soundbite. I think I do have that. I gotta go through that. Oh, you should have been on point then, fam.
I wasn't ready for it. My bad.
Well, there you go. You should have been on point. So we got a new triangle of sins. We'll give you all the details. We're gonna make you stick around for the details, but you're not gonna truly be pleased with what we have to say pertaining to those three heavyweights. Dropping down to the light heavyweight division, obviously, Sergey Kovalev has come back to light heavyweight division trying to recapture his throne. He was able to acquire one of his many titles that slipped away due to his loss to Andre Ward, who is now retired. We'll give you the details on his win as well as the details on Gamboa's win. I don't think that was the same one I was looking for, but, details on Gamboa's win and, whether or not he really won. And Kell Brook is back. We'll let you know where he's going to be campaigning at. And there's also some Frampton news. He's being sued. Just a lot of little headlines out there. TBV is back. Don't forget the number 14255695241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion here on the Voice of the People hotline. International callers. Don't forget to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. That's NESTORGIBBS. Shout out to all our patrons. Shout out to all our super chatters. We about to get this thing started. Let's head on out to the Golden State to the one Matt, the hipster.
Dollar DiBiase production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it? Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
Boxingvoice.com. You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
Boxingvoice.com.
The hipsters here, haters beware. Welcome back. We went 4 shows yesterday, something like that, some insane number. A little bit podcast out in a way. These fights were so, and then obviously Kovalev had that huge knockout, which sort of saved the event last night. And plus this news of Joseph Parker, Lucas Browne. It's a little bit old. It's a few days old, but we didn't report on it, so I feel like we need to because, again, this is the saga right now. What is Anthony Joshua's next move? And all these other pieces trying to get that fight. It is sort of the big news topic of the boxing world right now. So we need to cover it from every aspect. Can't wait to chop it up with you, Ness, and Cash Wheezy, and the callers.
Well, speaking of Mr. Wheezy, let's head on back to the Garden State, to the home of the fashion designer, boxing fan apparel himself.
What's up, man? Yeah, I just want to say I said fight too.
Stay focused. Stay working my dad. Boxing voice.
Because if he comes to fight, then I'm going to have to look for him right now.
I said fight too.
I think you're accurate.
Yo, what's up, everybody on the Boxing World and on TBV Podcast Live. My name is Enrique Church, and I did make a pick on the fight. I picked Gamboa. I was surprised that I learned about that fight like Thursday. I was like, oh shit, Gamboa's fighting in the Garden on the Kovalev card. So yes, it was a good night, good dose. So I couldn't make it on the live chat, but yeah, jumping into the Lucas Browne, Joseph Parker. I only know Joseph Parker. That should not surprise you.
That is the right one.
Let's chop it up.
So you don't know Lucas Browne?
No,
Not at all.
don't.
What could we tell him of Lucas Browne? What's Lucas Browne's biggest accomplishment?
He was the WBA regular champion at one point. Then he tested dirty for clenbuterol, I want to say. Blamed it on tainted meat, as always. And he was supposed to get a shot at Luis Ortiz. That was supposed to be the fight at one point, was Lucas Browne, Luis Ortiz, but that never happened. I think Lucas Browne has, who's his biggest win? Freza Quendo? Like, that's probably it.
What's his alias? Is it Big Daddy?
Oh, I have no idea.
That be him.
That is him. Well, he got a 0 on his loss side, and he has 22 KOs. But I still don't know who he is. I'm looking at his resume. You know, that's how I do it now. And I would say, just based off of no popularity, Anthony Joshua or Wilder will probably destroy this dude.
I hear you, and you know, that's a fair assessment, especially on a casual fan's perspective, to go based off resume and, you know, feel that way. I don't know. I gotta go through Lucas's Browne resume myself. I believe a couple years ago he had a win that we weren't expecting him to get. Oh yeah, there it is. He beat Ruslan Chagayev. That kind of is what made me believe he was that's what made me a believer, you know, similar to that Curtis Stevens fight with Gennady. You know, that fight showed me, oh, okay, Lucas is a true contender. He's got other wins. Nothing, you know.
James Toney, that was old as hell.
Yeah, you know, nothing like outlandish or anything like that. That is like, oh, Ness, you forgot so and so. You know, you got to really go in your bag to start talking about his resume. But that Chagayev win, I do rate that win. That I believe was how he got the WBA. It was a legitimate win. I just don't know if that was the win that had any, you know, testing or whatever attached to it, like negative testing, should I say? I'm not sure. I'm on BoxRec. I don't see that it was overturned. So we got to give him credit for that. You know what I mean?
I believe he actually went through the process of repealing it and actually won his case. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the case here.
So now that we've given you a little bit of backstory, he is an Australian heavyweight. We've done numerous interviews with him, and we got some footage on him on our YouTube. Just go check it out. It would be a decent fight between he and Joseph Parker. And, I mean, New Zealand, Australia, that's kind of like the same backyard. No, they could probably get it popping easily in terms of, you know, filling some stadiums or something. But let's tell the people what this truly is. And it's Team Parker showing their muscle in a sense.
Trying
to say, like, hey, make up your mind because we got other plans already lined up. What do you think about that? And I mean, you know, and then I guess casual, you know, how'd you receive all this new information when it's your turn?
Higgins, obviously the owner of Duco Events, said they also have a potential lucrative deal with a Russian fighter. They did not name him. That could be also on the table. So it's just, to me, it's strong arming or flexing to the media in a way. It's telling Joshua, who really doesn't need you, Parker, right now, let's be honest, saying, hey, you know, we can go fight other people. We don't need to fight you either. You know, and it's sort of that B side trying to take your ball and go home. And it's also a safety net because, like you said, it is a decent fight. I don't think anyone's really going to not like Lucas Browne versus Joseph Parker. If you're a hardcore fan, that should be an entertaining fight that you want to watch.
I'm afraid, you know, I'm a very shrewd businessman. So, you know, I would be afraid to do what Joseph just done. And I'll tell you why, Enrique, because like with Joshua being the commodity that he is, you know, he is an A side. He can pick and choose. He could easily just send Lucas an offer. And we'll all be just as excited, if not more, that now Anthony's making a voluntary defense versus Lucas Browne, steal his thunder, and leave him with nothing but wolves to negotiate with, a la Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, whatever's left. You know what I mean? And leave him being Joseph. Just saying. What do you guys think about that?
Well, you know, I really don't have an interest in that fight, Joseph Parker. I wouldn't mind. I'm interested in seeing Deontay Wilder fight any of them because, you know, I'm a Deontay Wilder fan as I am an Anthony Joshua fan. So those two names would bring me to a Joseph Parker or Lucas Browne. Other than that, Joseph Parker versus Lucas Browne, I'll watch it because of the next conversation after it is, you know.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a little bit sad though, right? Like a fight between the two doesn't entice the casual fan the way that a fight with either versus one of the other, you know, bigger names in the division does.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, there's certain matchups that just aren't appealing to the casual fan. You know,
I don't know, but I think this particular matchup, Matt, it could be exciting. Lucas could actually win this fight.
Here's the thing. From a technical standpoint in the ring, in terms of action, this would probably produce. It'll probably produce a lot of action that people like Enrique will love, but they don't care. They don't care about these guys coming into it, especially over here. You know, I'm not talking about what's happening in New Zealand or Australia or the UK. Joseph Parker's a little more well-known there, and he has a little more of a fan base in those markets. But here, the casual fans don't care about those two guys. They just don't.
Yo, Lucas is 38, so that may be an issue. Joseph is a young heavyweight. So we'll see. I mean, that is that news. Let's drop on down a couple of divisions to the light heavyweight division. Sergey Kovalev is back. We've seen a lot of headlines saying I am back. And I'm just going to say I can't necessarily say Kovalev is back based off of, you know, Vyacheslav Shabranskyy performance. I need to see Kovalev with Adonis, but I know that that's very hard to make. I would like Barrera. Yesterday, before the fight, I actually wanted Barrera to face him. But, man, Barrera went life and death with my brethren, Dominican, older cousin. He looked like my great cousin. Because you can't say grandpa because he ain't looked that old. But, yo, homie looked older. He was like the big version of Rigo old.
He was his skin. It's like something with his skin. Just
Yo, and then Barrera went, you know, life and death with this dude. So I don't know that Barrera's that guy for Kovalev. So is Kovalev back? It's such a tricky question for me to answer, right? Because I skimmed through the division and I'm looking for a guy that could give him some sort of issues, but I really don't see it. You know, Ken Bivol, I don't know. We have to wait and see what he really is. Ken Barrera may be, you know, because Styles makes fights and he couldn't get up for Valeria. I don't know, but there's no clear guy. Like when Andre Ward was there, we were like, oh, I want to see Kovalev versus Ward. Not even Better Beef has me convinced. Because, I mean, if Kovalev lands the straight right that he landed on Shabranskyy on Better Beef is going down, bro. He's going down versus lesser men. So I just don't know who's going to be Kovalev's, you know, next, if not big fight, you know, defining fight or validation fight. You know, I want to throw Marcus Browne in there, but I know he's just a cub at this point.
And we're not getting that.
Yeah, and the politics. You're right.
I mean, let's be honest here. I think Kovalev versus Barrera, Kovalev versus Bivol, Kovalev versus Better Beef are all very fun fights. Kovalev is the clear favorite in all of them. He has to be. With Adonis, it's in question. That's why that fight is still the fight to make in the division. And that's why none of these fights will ever match what that could be, because we still all think Kovalev can beat a Better Beef, Bivol, and Barrera.
I'm not sure that the steam is still there for that one, bro.
It may not be, but in terms of what it could produce in the ring, that fight is still the best of all the matchups, is Adonis versus Kovalev. All these other ones are just pretenders to that fight.
Yo, Kovalev is extremely vulnerable, okay? I mean, he got wobbled by Shabranskyy on the jab coming in.
We keep forgetting Badu Jack, and that's maybe because he just moved up to the...
Oh, we're not forgetting him. He just hasn't done anything. Beating cleverly means nothing to us, so it's hard to remember that. It's not offensive. We just can't remember when you're fighting not nobodies, but somebody's we don't care to see. It's hard to remember that. It just is. Badu Jack is a great specimen. He's being trained for now, like his fourth fight by Larry Coach Wade out there in the UNLV with Sean Porter in them. And that for me is an automatic recipe for success, but do something in the division. There's rumors, obviously, that he's supposed to fight Adonis Stevens. Maybe he can get that belt and unify with Kovalev. Hard to see that happening.
Throwing out a wild card fight, just because it's on the chat. And to me, it seems interesting. A catchweight fight, Tony Bellew versus Sergey Kovalev. What does that do for Kovalev, and is that winnable?
It obviously does something for Kovalev. Bellew has a marketable name. His name just means something at this point. And for Kovalev, it means an easy win. If Adonis Stevenson can knock you out, Kovalev better knock you out. He's allegedly the monster in the division.
Yeah, but me, on the other hand, I didn't watch that fight as a matchmaker. I just, I know Kovalev's back history. I did not know that he was a smoker and a drinker between fights. So learning that it tells me why he lost against Andre Ward and why he was filled with all these reasons why the fight was stopped low because of low blows and all that other stuff. And it was also a broadcast that he did some soul searching. So when he got punched in the chest and stumbled back, I thought to myself, damn, his heart is not in boxing. And then again, Shabranskyy, his name is, right? I didn't know him, so the same thing.
How you don't know Shabranskyy? No boxing.
I don't know Shabranskyy. It was my first time ever watching him fight. But he's a guy that he looked tough at first, first few minutes.
All right, really quick. For more guys like casual, Shabransky's trained by Manny Robles, same trainer as Oscar Valdez, same trainer as Michael Conlon. Am I missing someone, Matt?
Jesse Magdaleno.
And Dominic Brazil. And then add in Shabranskyy. Shabranskyy has already faced and lost to Sullivan Barrera.
He's also one of the main sparring partners for Canelo
Alvarez. So that's a little back info on Shabranskyy.
Right. So Kovalev's next opponent, I wouldn't mind it being Adonis Stevenson or Tony Bellew or Bellew or somebody like Badu Jack or even Julio Cesar Chavez, Jr. I wouldn't mind watching him fight any of those names. Other guys that step up with like one vowel in their name, I wouldn't watch that.
I mean, since both of you guys have mentioned Badu Jack and just, closing my eyes and reminiscing on his style and, the fact that sometimes he can get active and dig to the body, that will make an interesting fight for Kovalev as another kind of barometer. Like, are you really
the favorite in that fight? Like, that's the reality. He may not be the favorite.
Yeah. But it also depends what Badu Jack can do in the meantime before they meet.
100%.
So I guess we got to get to, the black eye of this weekend in boxing. The day has gone and passed, and I digested this fight, and I still feel the same. I think Jason Sosa won. It's really unfortunate. Sosa scored a knockdown, had a point deducted from Gamboa, resulting in essentially 2 knockdowns for himself, or 2 extra points, or 2 points more than Gamboa should have. And regardless, he got the loss. And it really sucks, because a guy like Sosa with no amateur background and, already going to the big fight versus Lomachenko and Walters, this was a great comeback story, not only for him, but for his family to at least believe in him again. Watching him overcome someone that was always heavily touted on his way up. And yes, we know the truth that he isn't the same version of himself, but moving forward, we would have always still given Sosa credit for the Gamboa win. And now it's going to have that asterisk that a lot of these fighters get. And it just sucks, man. It really does. I will say this. I still, again, feel exactly like yesterday. And I feel like it was not a close fight where the cards should have shown a close scorecard, but a close fight in the sense that there were lows in Sosa's work. There were spots where he could have given away the tide or the ebb and flow of the fight. And it's what I say now for years. When you allow these fights to be this close, you put yourself in the position to be robbed. You have to do more. Those punch stats told a different story. And if it was a blind man listening to that story and only being read the numbers, he would also think that yesterday's fight was close. What makes it wide is the knockdown and the point deduction. But Sosa, he's got to go back to the drawing board. He did good and enough to get the win. But on this level, on HBO, you have to be better than that. You have to want us to want to see you fight. And even if he would have got the win with that performance, yesterday wasn't that performance where I'm going to say to myself, hey, let's put him in there with Tank Davis now and get excited. It would be just the opposite. I would still get excited, probably not to the same degree, but if, Matt hits me up, he's like, yo, they just made Tank versus Sosa. I'm like, oh, all right, that's good because it's a good fight for Sosa and a good fight for Gravanta. Just saying.
I agree on almost every single point that you said. I think I cannot personally see a scorecard for Gamboa. Not saying there's not one out there, but I cannot personally see it. I don't understand it. I don't see it at all. So want somebody out there, please hit me up on Twitter, social media, something. Tell me your scorecard. Break it down for me because I want to understand. Because there are people that think Gamboa won. That is a reality. We have people in our chat saying that. We have people saying that. Though I think this is a robbery. And I know I've been a little bit hesitant on saying that fights are robbery and saying, hey, when it's a little more controversial, let's just call it controversial. We don't need to call it a robbery. But this is a robbery. You have 2 10-8 rounds. That automatically is a 4-0 scorecard in terms of rounds. And you have to think about it that way. So Gamboa would need to catch up with 2 extra rounds to make up for that work. And it's only a 10-round fight. Mathematically speaking, with what we saw last night, I don't see anything for Gamboa. So please, somebody out there, walk me through it. I think Jason Sosa needs to work on some stuff, definitely. He still is a very limited boxer. He wasn't working off the jab at all. That hurt him. He was looking for the knockout when he shouldn't have been. He should have just been boxing. And Gamboa is still fast enough. He is not shot enough. You can still give some of these more basic top 10, top 15 guys trouble. Absolutely. But his time is still close to done. Gamboa will be out of the sport in the next 12 months, probably. This was a gift to Gamboa on his way out.
The thing about Gamboa is he can't take any pressure. Enrique, did you watch this one?
Yeah, that's the fight that drove me to the HBO. You know what I mean? Gamboa. I'm a fan of Gamboa. I also saw Jason Sosa fight Lomachenko. And I was expecting to be more impressed with Gamboa. He's a very trippy guy, meaning clumsy. He's always slipping, touching the canvas. They don't count it as a 4, and he got touched. That happened before. So I thought he lost. The story that you said that the stats give someone tells you something different. So I would give the judgers rather respect their judgment because, as Matt said, people think that Gamboa won. These guys thought he won. It was a close fight. Gamboa probably got one more fight in him. Who would that be? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely kept him alive for that. Maybe a Burt Chelt comeback, a Vargas comeback. This would be good for Vargas as a name, but it's only gonna do well for the Enriques of the world. Like for you and I, we know if Vargas comes back and steamrolls Gamboa into retirement, he's been like 3 fights ago should have retired. Not should have, but showing signs of massive slippage. Like, I never in 100 years thought Gamboa would lose to Robinson Castellano. And I know Castellano. I know his story. He's a similar Orlando Salido. You know, a guy started early, got a lot of losses, got it together, and is a tough motherfucking fight. But if you're Yuriorkis Gamboa, a Cuban amateur standout, Olympic gold medalist, you're not supposed to lose to Castellano. Not on your worst day. And he's losing to these guys on his worst day. Speaking of worst days, Kell Brook, bro. He's had two bad losses. And I'm sure, you know, while they've been magnificent paydays, they've also been his worst days. He's got to remember the losses. Now we're asking him to move up to 54. And I'm going to be completely fair and not really cast judgment. I want to see what he can do and who he can do it versus. I'm going to throw him a lob ball. Right? Am I saying it right? Or I'm gonna lob the ball.
I'm gonna lob the pitch. Lob the pitch.
I'm gonna lob the pitch to him, Enrique, and I'm gonna give him Tony Harrison at 54.
Ooh, I love that.
Fight. I'll give him, because I know they like domestic fights, Brian Rose at 54. Well, Brian Rose might be a 60, and then it might be unfair to bring him down to 54. So if not, Brian Rose, the Liam that won the other day at 54. I think that if you're Kell Brook, even off of a loss, you should be able to beat either Liam. You've sparred with one throughout your entire career. We've always seen you above those Liams. Your stardom has been above those Liams. I think that that's a good fight for Kell Brook. 54, I would even take Fernando Guerrero, but I'm telling you right now, if he fights and beats Guerrero, there's an asterisk attached to that in my name. Guerrero's a small 54, doesn't take punches well. Jump in, guys, if you got any 54s you want to give Kell Brook. Not hard ones. Yeah, I don't think he deserves a hard one yet. Give him maybe one or two chilling, 54s.
I think even like a comma guy would be too tough for him at this point. Like, I think he needs a real soft touch. He needs a soft touch.
Wow. Wait, Matt. I mean, how bad do you think how damaged do you have him? That comma guy?
I don't know. I don't know what Kell Brook's state is. Like you said, he could be damaged goods. You give him a lob. You have to give him a huge lob. Tony Harrison makes perfect sense because he's a little bit more credentialed, a little more credible. Even though I think Tony Harrison breaks and fights more than Kell Brook does. So,
well, we have a lot of people on our chat saying that's a tough fight. Let's play the Lucas Matisse game, right? Lucas Matisse moved up to 47 and fought a 40-pounder, both of them fighting at 47. Yeah. So what about another 147-pounder that's busting at the seams that also needs to move up that they can do? Like, hypothetically speaking, Brandon Rios had to move up, but he doesn't. He hasn't even made a well enough campaign at 47, so he is not an option.
That was want to fight. He just want to fight.
Yeah, but he hasn't. But what I'm saying is he hasn't made enough noise at 47 legitimately ever.
What do you mean noise? It doesn't matter. You brought up Fernando Guerrero.
Like, but he's a career.
Noise for Brandon Rios.
But Fernando Guerrero is a career 160-pounder that, is small enough to be, he fought at 54 one time versus Greatest Good.
Noise. You said noise. Brandon Rios has definitely brought more noise to his legacy and career than Fernando Guerrero. So why is he?
I just think that Kell Brook should be easy. I don't know. Rios at 54. Rios started very small. Kell Brook didn't start that small. Kell Brook's already a big welterweight. You got to remember that. Rios started at 30, went to 35, struggled making those weights, had inconsistencies in his career. Like, Rios is the wrong fight. It's an easy fight. And that's wrong. That, who knows what Rios can do, but it's not the right fight. It would be unfair, I think. I
don't think it would be
unfair for Brandon or
unfair for Brandon, in my opinion, Enrique. I like what the chat is saying. Margarito, that's an easy name to take to the UK and beat up on.
Well, that's unfair to Margarito. If that's the stance for Brandon Rios, that must be the stance for every B-side tune-up you're trying to give to Kell Brook. It's all going to be unfair. That's the whole point of giving a guy a tune-up.
Well, this is the thing. I think that Brandon has upside. So you can still he can still build at 47 is what I'm saying. That you don't need to sacrifice Brandon at 54 yet. He still has a career at 47 if he just establishes one.
Let's think about this. A fight in the UK does present some money. It's probably more money than what a Danny fight he may get in terms of the split. I mean, I think
like Kirkland. Christian Fernandez says Kirkland. I like that.
I like Kirkland.
Kirkland's well known enough. He's been on the shows with Canelo. You could take him to the UK and they'll love him out there.
That's a good one.
I like Kirkland and I love the Brandon Rios name.
Oh man, don't do that to Rios.
I like Brandon Rios. I think that's a great.
How many fights did Rios have at 47, bro? You guys not giving him a true opportunity at 47. You want him to jump.
Opportunity, dude. What do you mean by that?
He's kind of big to me.
What I mean by that, Nat, what I mean by that is let him have a fair shot at 47 before you send him to 54.
Fair shot at 47? What, that murderer's row at the top? Well, come on. Kell Brook might be the easiest money fight you can get out of the top.
Lamb, he has an easier chance at 47 than at 54. 54 is nothing but wolves.
It's not about fighting at 54. It's about getting the Kell Brook fight. You're thinking about a campaign at 54. I'm thinking about
a career. You see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not thinking about a one and done that could possibly fuck him over. I'm talking about a career. I'm talking about having a career.
Hey, so when you're Brandon Rios and you don't have much of a career left, you look for the biggest payday.
But that's the problem. That's you thinking that. I think Rios still has a career. You crazy? There was a time when Rios wasn't signing nobody, and it was only rumors of a comeback, and he got one, and now he's with PBC, and we have yet to see anything. All he did was beat Aaron Herrera.
We just saw him. We just saw Brandon Rios. What do you mean? He was just on a toe-to-toe Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he only beat Aaron Herrera. Like, yo, let him build. He's just coming back off a Bradley loss and a layoff.
Somebody threw a name out there in the chat. Diego Chavez.
He signed up to fight Jamal James already. He's fighting in a couple days. That's a good
Diego
fight.
Chavez is too tough. Diego Chavez has more.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that a lob?
Nah, that ain't no lob. But again, that why Diego has a now that Diego's with Heyman, he has an opportunity at 47. Why rush him to 54? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm thinking about their careers, man. You guys are just, you're looking about the one big fight.
Yes.
It's not good, especially for a guy like Reels that balloons. You don't want him to balloon to 54, then expect him to come back to 47. It won't happen. But anyway, call Frampton. What's up with all that and the legalities going on, legal situations, lawsuits? It's the McGuigans. They're coming back for him.
The McGuigans and Cyclone Promotions. Yes, they are coming at him. They have filed suit. Carl Frampton's lawyer, I forget his name. He released a statement to the public today, saying that they're going to countersue, obviously. And Carl Frampton is now in a legal battle with his former promoter or pseudo current promoter, depending who you ask. Could this tie up Carl Frampton? It's a very new case. It's all new news. But if it does, I mean, does this really hurt his career? I mean, he's in the prime of his career. If he loses a year or two in the 126-pound division, he could miss out on a lot.
Yeah, man. I mean, but do these lawsuits stop you from fighting? I mean, while
Now, here's the thing.
Because there's going to be a counter lawsuit, from my understanding.
Possibly, if there's obviously the court system in the UK is different than the one in the US, and I'm only really familiar with the US court system. But you can file an injunction here to keep fighting with, let's say, your new promoter while this court case is going on. There is precedent for that in the US, but it's one of those where it's not every case gets it. It's not. But there is precedent for it. I assume there's probably some precedent in the books in the UK as well for this. So hopefully that happens.
Well, all right. I mean, Enrique, you don't really, you know what I mean? This ain't your cup of tea, right? Carl Frampton.
I was just wondering why didn't his new promoter just buy his contract from the current promoter?
Maybe the old promoter, air quotes, Cyclone Promotions, Barry McGuigan and all them, maybe they didn't want it to be bought out.
Right.
Because you don't have to sell it. That's the thing.
Yeah, you don't have to sell it. But your fighter wants to go somewhere else, then
yeah, man, that's the business.
Moral thing though, and and I hate guys that won't let him go. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, you in that puffy contract, you ain't going nowhere.
That's like slavery right there.
Yeah, it's like, bro, we not happy with you no more. Cut us loose.
If you're a fighter, sign short-term contracts. Honestly, if you're a fighter and you really believe in yourself, sign 3 fight contracts, 2 fight,
or just get with a promoter that has the fights that you need. Like that's why Danny is, with Eddie and HBO contract so that he can get the fights he needs, because they're all over there, right? Even like it opens it up for him, you know what I mean? Phone calls, sponsors. It's that.
Wait. Before that, I wanted to ask something, right? It might not mean anything, but you guys, you score fights. The Sullivan Barrera Felix Valera fight, when they both touched the canvas, Howard Letterman was like, "Yeah, I gave it to the guy who did better during the round." I was wondering if you, because I was like, "Oh, that's a 8-8 round, a tie round." Did you tie it or did you go? It was a whole conversation.
Yeah. No, I always tie it because I follow the rules. Letterman and Kellerman make up their own rules. Letterman's made up rule that he's
you have to pick the winner.
No, that he's been poisoning the audience with is, oh, well, he's coming forward, so he's making the fight, so he's the aggressor, so I gave him the round, Jim. And Kellerman is, well, I always ask myself, who would I rather be? And I'd rather not be the guy receiving the punches from Vasyl Lomachenko.
Let's be honest. Both of those are Lettermanisms.
No, but that is a Kellermanism.
We had Letterman on the show say those things.
That's okay, but Kellerman, that's his thing, without a doubt. Who would you rather be? Who would you rather be? And it's like, bro, I would not rather be you using that lame ass judging
correctly. That the rules, the letter of the law, so to speak, is that it should be a tie. It should be 8-8.
Letterman said that the rule is that you got to pick a winner.
I didn't say Letterman. I said Kellerman. Did I say Letterman? Sorry, I meant Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman said it correctly at one point. He said the letter of the rules is that it should be a tie. That knockdowns are ruled the same. No matter
2 points. But sometimes...
Yes, no matter the severity of the knockdown, each knockdown is the same. But
sometimes you get a 9 instead of a 10 if you come back from a knockdown. You get a 9.
But that's different. Like you said, if you come back, that means you put together a rally, you put together punches that score points.
But again, that's not really in the rules. Like that's just like a unwritten thing. Because the letter of it is very different.
I just thought it was a good thing to hear someone else's opinion because I was like, yo, if you really score, somebody got to win. Then the better knockout was the they
always promote bias. Just listen to how that sounds out loud. Like, oh, well, it was 2 knockdowns, so the better knockdown is who gets the round. Like, that's some bias shit. They're just promoting bias.
Now, they didn't say that. I was saying that. He said that you have to pick a winner, and the person who controlled the round was Barrera.
You don't have to pick a winner. That's why there's 10-10 rounds.
Yeah, that was a Letterman.
Yeah, there's 10, but judges
rarely must system. So his thinking was that whoever quote unquote got the round needed that number 10 next to them, which is not true. That is not true.
It don't work that way anyway when it's 2 knockdowns because it could be a 9-9.
Yes, it can be.
Or it could have been 8-8 because they both scored knockdowns, but Barrera gets a 9 because he won the round in their opinion. So it's 9-8.
9-8 or 8-8 scorecards were acceptable there. 10-9 is not.
Exactly.
10-9, no sense.
Can't do 10-9 because the dude got a knockdown and the other one got a knock. They just tried to automatically erase Valera's knockdown. Like, oh, well, it was just like a little jab. So,
and I want to say in the
10-8, he gave him a 10-8, which is
scorecard for the Gamboa fight because the scorecard obviously is out there. We posted on our IG, so the Boxing Voice on Instagram. You can check out the scorecard there. I believe one of the judges, I forget which judge, gave Gamboa a 10-9 round in the round he was knocked down in. Like, yep, these things just happen in boxing. Oh, but very quickly before we go to callers, 2 other fights. Alexander Usanov versus Manuel Char for the WBA regular belt happened yesterday. Manuel Char won it via unanimous decision. It was I don't know if you can call it a fight, but it was something. So you can watch on YouTube. And Wenhang Menothin.
What do you mean by that?
It was just very sloppy. It was a heavyweight fight. It was a heavyweight fight that went the distance. And I think any astute boxing fan knows exactly what I mean by that. Wenhang Menothin of the flyweight division went to 49-0 yesterday, beating Nakaruni, one of a Japanese boxer. So shout out to him tying that mythical number 49-0. So just salute to him. Ness just got up, so I don't know if we can go to the callers right now because I can play the sponsors.
Sponsors.
I can find it.
Amber Kunks.
These calls are brought to you by our sponsor, El Camino Electrical Services, who have over 15 years of commercial electrical experience, servicing the whole Silicon Valley and the entire San Francisco Peninsula. Visit us at our website, elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Damn, what happened to Amber's version?
The old one.
Yo, fucking Matt jumping the gun scheme.
Is this the new one, the third down scoring?
Don't play nothing else, please.
Please.
Because you're jumping the gun right now. Like, I want to talk about fucking.
Oh, you want to talk about
it? and Alexander Ustinov or whoever these guys are. You know what I'm saying? Because.
Come on, you know who they are, Ness. Don't act like you're casual. You know who these guys are.
The thing is that it's so upsetting to be called bias and then to live through the biasness. It's like these names that we seen fight yesterday are the same names that people use against more recognizable heavyweights as to reasons why, you know, they haven't fought anybody or they need to fight these time. And these guys are like, first of all, Manuel Char, like, it's not my first time watching him. I mean, we've seen what happened to him versus Vladimir.
No, Vitaly.
Same thing, you know, and
Povetkin and Marius Briedis and a bunch of people.
This guy now, you know, Ustinov, like he was the next one, you know. You know, you heard the whispers and the rumors. Oh, Ustinov.
And he got knocked the fuck out.
Why did my man look like? Yo, what's the name? What's the dude name from the Smurfs, man? Gargamel. He looked at like a big ass version of Gargamel, man. Even his balding. Like, yo, fams, get that shit together. He had the top center balding where you just bald on the side like Papa Smurf and shit. No, like Gargamel rather. But he was like a 3-round fighter. The first 3 rounds he looked good. Jabs and right hands over the top. And then all of a sudden he went absolutely flat. And in the meantime, Char was there like a defensive end. Like he was a lineman. His hands was just up and he was just coming forward, happily accepting shots across his face and his guard. I mean, I didn't know what I was watching. And then the weirdest thing happened. They said on the telecast it was for a WBA belt. And I said, what the fuck? I thought they were consolidating. Yo, this guy, I want to get my hands on this Mendoza guy. That's his name, right? WBA's Mendoza?
Yes.
I've never had the opportunity to interview him.
I mean, there's a reason why.
When I catch up to this man, I'm going to find out exactly why it's taken over 12 months to quote unquote consolidate, but he keeps giving motherfuckers the same title. Like he just gave Peterson Thurman's title. And now they taking it from Peterson, right? Because he don't want it no more. And they about to give it to somebody else.
Of course.
There's no consolidation.
Of course not.
It was a straight up lie. Straight up lie. So back to this heavyweight fight that was for a WBA title. So somehow one of these dudes, as Bunce called the dude like the Lebanese playboy, is Emmanuel Shah. Let me tell you.
Remember when Bunce or whatever his name is said that Dominic Brazil and these guys is a 50-50 fight?
No, I heard that part in the telecast. He's disrespectful as a motherfucker. He's disrespectful. And he was trying to convince his co-host that, you know, like Ustinov would have won. He was shocked when Manuel Char turned shit all the way around because I was shocked. Manuel Char looks like that little hockey game. It's not even a hockey game. It's one of them little pole games in the frat houses. and the man is just there. He, it's a soccer game, but the dude don't move. His hands don't move. He just stands there like that, and you spin the stick, and that's exactly what Manuel Char was. Like, he didn't move. His hands didn't move. He just stood there and took shots until he had an opportunity. So God bless his soul. But if that's the game plan for guys like Joshua Wilder, Luis Ortiz, that boy is going to have a cooked Lebanese brain. I'm just letting you know right now. Okay? And that other guy, thank God he lost because he was big for nothing. I'm sorry. We seen big guys like this on the basketball court right away. You're big for nothing. You're 6'7", you can't dunk, you ain't blocking shit, and you slow as fuck. This guy's 6'7", and he lasted 3 rounds. He let a little dude beat him up after 3 rounds. He just got tired. The jab went from popping to down by the waist to down by his knee. I was like, what am I watching here? It was like watching the little, oh man, I know there's an exact word for this, but like the human life, where it starts like monkey, caveman, and shit. What I was watching it backwards with this guy.
The human evolution.
The life circle. Yeah, the evolution, exact. But I was watching it backwards with this guy because the jab started at the top until it slowly went down, and he was just looking like a big ass monkey with his hands by his side. It was silly, bro. I don't understand. Like, WBA title. This, and we got guys like fucking Mr. Porgy Orgy calling in, crying about other mafias, right? How he likes to say, but we hear nothing about this shit. This is just, first of all, the consolidation, and now this being an actual belt. And what's even worse is they pick and choose, right? You heard Keith Thurman tell you and I on our 3-hour interview that you could check out on patreon.com/theboxingvoice that the WBA will never, ever, ever mandate him to do a defense. He said that is the Mayweather loophole. So why is the WBA consistently mandating poor Anthony Joshua? And I know you guys think I'm biased and I'm a hater on other heavyweight shows, but right now I'm a AJ protector. Why is it that the heavyweight division he has to man? Yeah, it's some motherfucking backspin shit, because how is it that Luis Ortiz was being quote unquote mandated to fight the real WBA champion in Anthony Joshua, but it only happens in the heavyweight?
Ness, I'm going to throw out another one. Do you know who the only WBA champion that was mandated to fight and actually fought their mandatory this year is? One person. Guess who that is?
Guillermo Rigondeaux.
Yep, against Moises Flores.
I know, because the WBA are very strange. Okay, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it. You can run, but you can't hide. And the good thing is, I know what you look like. You don't know what I look like. So when I pop up on you, that camera's rolling. Camera's rolling and you can't run. And it happened like that with Mauricio. Like, people think I got this great relationship with Mauricio. Well, it was established on me attacking him for the fucking Robert Guerrero, Danny Garcia shit. It's like, yo, how you keep doing this shit? My man just keep getting title shot after title shot, ranking like, what the fuck is going on? And Mr. Mendoza, he needs to have a chat with some real, investigative journalists. Not myself, but I'll do it if you guys ain't going to do it. That's for damn sure. Anyway.
Yo, Mendoza's in the back just laughing. You know why? Because he's getting 3 different sanctioning fees for 3 different belts in every division. He's thinking, oh, all you other sanctioned bodies with only 1 belt? Suckers. I got 3 different streams of revenue here, bitch. That's what he's thinking.
I hear you, man. What could you say? The fighter is the one that gives the belts relevancy.
Absolutely.
Okay. Shout out to Sergey Kovalev with his newly IBA fucking title. Like, yo, I don't know what it is to win a belt. So I'm not going to say that signing and paying sanctioning fees for a belt that we've never heard of is a shallow thing to do. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to just say, why pay another sanctioning fee for a belt that no fan knows? Like, people are going to be writing me emails now.
Like, I never thought about that. It must be an ego thing with fighters. Like, they want a belt. Like, they just want something there. They'll pay anyone 3% of their purse just to get that belt.
Of course. It has to be. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I never won a belt. You know what I mean? But from a financial standpoint, especially after, you know, learning the ins and outs and how much it costs to have those belts. I'm not paying for an IBA. I never heard of them. What's it stand for? Who are they?
International Boxing Association is my guess.
Where are they established at? How long they've been in business? You know, what have they done? What are you paying for? I'm just saying. I just want to know. Listen, we're going out to these phone lines. Let's play the proper El Camino because they do, you know, make sure that the Boxing Voice is taken care of whenever they can. Strong supporters, long-time supporters, and their listener base, all right? So remember, whenever you hear this El Camino, remember that he is a listener just like you and decided that he loves this show as much as you, and he wanted to make sure that this show could be around as long as you guys want to listen to it.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to Atlanta, the home of the milkman.
I told y'all a long time ago, the Kirkland will go down 3 rounds.
Right hand, down goes Kirkland. Strap me up. Next, I got milk, baby.
Yeah, it's the milkman. Good evening, everybody. Let's see where to start first. Sergey Kovalev. You know, he did what he had to do, what he was supposed to do. If, you know, is he back? You know, I don't know. Only time will tell. I think his win was more an indication of the level of his opposition, but, you know, can't take nothing away from him. He did what he was supposed to do. It would be nice to, you know, maybe see if him and Badu Jack can maybe fight, and then somehow the winner of that fight maybe fight Adonis Stevenson. You know, I think it's time, man. These guys need to mix it up. As far as Kell Brook, you know, he's in a very peculiar situation. I think he's on the last tour of his career. You know, if it were me, I wouldn't mind him just seeing him hang him up now. But I know it's probably, you know, at least 2 more big fights he can probably make. Definitely Amir Khan is one. So I think, you know, what they'll probably do is give him a real soft touch beginning of next year, and then maybe try to somehow make that Amir Khan fight happen for the last part of 2018. Who should he fight first? I don't know. I feel some type of way about him fighting Antonio Margarito. You know, I just, you know, ever since that hand wrap shit, you know, Margarito fighting has just been rubbing me the wrong way. I don't think he should keep getting these opportunities to get good paychecks. So I don't know. Maybe he could pull Kirkland in the ring, do it overseas. I think they could do some pretty decent numbers with that. Outside of that, you know, shit, I don't know. But I still, you know, think, like I said, the Amir Khan will be a big fight. So that's all I got, man. That's my call.
Milkman, thanks for calling in. You know, I'm over that Amir Khan fight, bro. If it comes, I'm sure it's going to be, you know, a big thing and a big deal because of who they are and where it's from. But at this point, you know, Amir doesn't want that. He's taking forever, and he's actually abusing us, right? He believes that fight will be there forever, and that's why he's taking this long to make it, you know. And I really hope that the fight fans smarten up to that, and if it does get made, probably don't accept it as well as they should because of, you know, how long it's took. It's just like, yo, this is not Mayweather Pacquiao for you guys to be acting this way.
I think Amir doesn't want to. I think Amir Khan's done. I think Amir Khan wants to retire. I think he has no interest in boxing anymore. He's on reality TV shows. I think it's time we stop mentioning Amir Khan's name with fights.
Did he quit on the reality show already and grab the snake or some bullshit?
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, come on. Like, he's such a name that he could just be on TV and make money. He could just be in commercials. He can be in Dubai with sponsors. Like, it's Amir Khan. Like, he can find money. And let's be honest, he probably doesn't want to get hit anymore. He's tired of getting knocked out. I get it.
Totally get it. Let's head on out to Australia, the home of Big Daddy Lucas Browne.
No one can stop me, really.
Oh, there's a King Croc right there. It's clock has enough power in its jaws to whip my head right off.
Enrique in the 6th round and the 7th round.
Vyacheslav Productions.
You're gonna be the legend to become a legend. Honestly, he's unbeatable. You're gonna be the legend to become a legend.
Hey, the family. How is everyone? Hope you're all well. Look, funny enough, I was actually on the phone to JD on the weekend. I missed all the fights because my mate broke my TV 5 minutes before they even started. So, a bit of an episode here, but look, I got it on the playback on my computer. I watched highlights of the Gamboa fight, watched the full Kovalev fight. Good fights. From all the highlights I saw of Gamboa, it looked like Gamboa was landing cleaner work, but obviously it just might be good editing, and you know he did lose 2 points from the ref and stuff. But overall, I guess a good week of boxing. I mean, we can do better. Riga Lomachenko coming up. On the topic of Kell Brook, I don't want him to hang up the gloves yet. I think he's still got a lot left in him. I mean, he's just fought 2 big punches. He's fought Golovkin and Errol Spence, and I think we need to calm down and realize that even in losing, he gave up some, you know, he put up a real good fight and, you know, clearly was winning. It's at least a handful of rounds off both of them. So I think, you know, he's still got a lot left in him, and I still think he could easily make it to the top 5 of the 154-pound division. And if you don't think so, just tell me 4 or 5 fighters that you'd put in front of him in that division. Just like, you know, besides Lara and Charlo, like, it's pretty polarized kind of division. But anyway, that's my call. Thanks for everything, guys, and keep up the great work.
All right, Alex, thanks for calling in. I mean, I can't really say that I could only put Laura and Charlo ahead of him. Like, I mean, when I mentioned Tony Harrison as a tune-up, some people said that was too tough of a fight. What up?
Oh, we got a ringer.
Who's ringing?
Oh, you know, your favorite from Boston.
Oh, shitty diaper.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't play Showtime to see you all there, not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see two motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What a great show. Thumbs up, donate. Hey, yo, people, what's happening?
Bring that high energy, Georgie.
Shitty diaper is clean. Really have a shitty diaper that purple chicks. Anyways, that fucking outrageous robbery. I'm with Matt all the way. Fuck De La Hoya, fuck HBO, they rob Sosa, and that's the only fucking mafia I want to talk about. Anything else you gotta say while I'm here, Mr. Gibbs?
Yeah, you a turncoat.
What that's supposed to mean?
I don't know. You didn't get my email?
Nope.
Check your
I
email.
know the people who ignore me.
Check your email.
You know, that's the rule of life. Anyways, everybody out there, want to tell the support, donate, and don't forget that TVB is more than one person.
Get your hypocrite ass out of
Nothing
here.
else to say.
Get your hypocrite ass out of here. I want Georgian border wars, bottom line.
Yo, he's not going to sign the deal. Come on, man.
I know, because he's a chump.
Yo, you're Wilder. He's Joseph Parker. He's trying to get that Lucas Browne fight. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. You heard that, Georgie? They just said it. You hell no, he don't get no belt. He ain't no fucking
He's not even
Joseph.
that good, let's be honest.
He ain't Joseph, man.
Is he 200 pounds? Is Georgie 200 pounds?
Hell yeah.
200 pounds.
He's 2+. He's 2+. Yo, it's time to party, kids.
Let's do it.
It is time to party.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean. My man, get a cup and put some change inside your hand. Now hold up. Let's make this official. Everybody, let's agree that.
I mean, what's up? What?
Oh, King Amin showing he is truly a king. Yo, TBV gets it. Oh, that's live radio. Live radio.
Hold on. I'm not gonna put him that much on blast, but this is the second time that's happened. What is it about listening to us that gets that going?
Yo, stop. Yo, I don't want that thought in my head. Stop it right now. Matthew, what the fuck are you saying? Don't even say that, buddy. Eddie in New York, what's up? Eddie in New York.
Eddie.
Yo, what up?
Yo, Eddie, I want half.
Get off speakerphone, Eddie.
Yeah, no speaker, Eddie, no speaker.
Off speaker. Before I start talking, tell everybody to hit that Pantheon. All right, I just did mine. I'm sorry. I had a rough weekend, so I hit you guys off with $1. But the coffee is coming, I swear to you. Before anything, I need you to explain to me how you gonna say that Sullivan Barrera was in a life or death fight. The fight was entertaining, but that shit was not life or death. That's number one. My man Kell Brook deserves to do whatever he wants. This man right here fought two of the biggest beasts that nobody wanted to fight. He fought Triple G when he should never got in there with Triple G. He fought Errol Spence when nobody wanted to fight Errol Spence. Yo, if y'all guys got so much juice and y'all know y'all so close to Keith Thurman, tell Keith Thurman to call Kell Brook and let him know how it's done. Because Kell Brook, let me tell you something. That's a throwback. That's a silverback. All right? Another thing, boxing has changed so much, I'm gonna keep it real quick. That you remember back in the days they had palookas, they had palooka fighters, right? Nobody knew who they were. Guess who the palookas of today are? The Gamboas and the Sosas. Because we as fight fans, we're demanding more. We're demanding more. So if you're gonna be a palooka, it gotta be somebody that we know. And Gamboa, yes, he lost the fight, but don't forget, he only fought on 3 weeks' notice. Yes, he lost. My man only fought on 3 weeks' notice. So we need the Gamboas. We need the Sosas, because they're the ones who are going to fight the Gervonta Davises. That's all I got. You guys are the best. Pantheon, put your money where your mouth is, man. Tell all these callers to get on that, because I'm always calling you guys. I'm done.
Damn. Eddie is the intro.
Eddie, shout out to Eddie in New York. It's Patreon, but he's talking about Patreon. He just signed up. Eddie, shout out. Anybody could sign up for $1 as well. Imagine, we got thousands of listeners. We get $1 from each of y'all,
He was saying, I thought he said he put his.
We'd actually be in the studio and have Earl Spence and Keith Thurman right on set. Like, yo, what up? But yeah, man, shout out to you. Thank you for signing up. See, you can sign up for as little as $1 a month as well. You won't get anything but our undying thank you at that tier. But that's okay, because I'm going to thank you every time you call in, Eddie. Shout out to you. Thanks for doing it.
I would say 90% of the content is released upon that $3 tier.
Yeah, the coffee. But he said the coffee's coming, so don't worry. Get it when you can. Once again, thank you. Let's go out to Scorsese.
It's been a long time.
Man, Eddie called in hype as fuck, man. But yeah, man, that was 100% robbery, man. Gamboa got that work. He looked slow, man. I'm punching from his arms and all that other shit. I felt bad for Jason Sosa. They stole two of the knockdowns that should have counted. It's not his fault Gamboa can't take a punch and remain on balance, and got that 3-second wobble rule. After you hit him, it takes him 3 seconds to wobble. It ain't nobody's fault but his. I do respect that he took the fight, tried to change his career around, but HBO and Golden Boy, they had to give him a pat on the back for that. I thought, man, and unlike some other people, I'm going to give Kovalev some props, man. Shabranskyy was a fucking giant, man. Like, I don't know if y'all know. Like, I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2". A dude stood
get out of here with that garbage, man. Height don't win fights. Punch resistance is what he don't got.
No. I hear you. I'm 6'2". A dude 6'8" stood up over me before I wanted to go face to face. Me being me, I stood up to him, but I'm being honest. I was scared as fuck. And when you see Shabranskyy, look, I ain't no Kovalev lover. Y'all know this already. But when you see Shabranskyy coming out front foot, popping him, punching him in the mouth with a jab, and Kovalev already being stopped before and saying, nah, fuck this. It ain't going down like this tonight. And just start. I get it. Shabranskyy ain't got the best chin, but at least we saw him fight back a little bit. And I want to see, I don't know, Sullivan Barrera can quit being a bitch-ass dude, man. Sullivan Barrera turned out 2 title shots to go get knocked down in the fucking undercard by old head. Nah, man, I ain't fucking with that. But Sullivan Barrera, he need to fight. He need to fight Kovalev. Quit acting like a damn bitch about it. Take the fight. He's whining about getting $300,000 because Ward pay him more. I recall you losing that fight, dude. It don't work like that. If you want more money, win the fucking fights. So, yeah, he need to fight Kovalev. I think he's gonna get his block knocked the fuck off if they fight March 3rd. I'm happy to see Kovalev back. I'm just mad he wouldn't gave up all his belts doing it the wrong way. He should have had his sights set on him and Adonis. And I think we probably never get that fight now, but I don't know. Maybe he gets the younger guys and Adonis gets some guys on Showtime and we all be happy with what we get. That's my call.
Yo, is it true, Matt, that Sullivan Barrera turned down the fight for the money, but he then found out that there was a belt on the line and he would have took the fight?
Yes.
Right. So he wasn't ducking. He just wanted it to be meaningful.
I mean, some fans would interpret that as ducking. That is a person's opinion. I don't think it's ducking, but again, that's up to Scorsese's opinion. He's entitled to believe that.
Scorsese chooses to believe a lot of crazy shit.
Don Stevenson's pound for pound #1. We can move on.
Long Beach in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, man. A deplorable night. A deplorable night of fights, you ask me. They were entertaining, but, you know, they lacked professionalism, for lack of a better word. You feel me? Like, Gamboa, he's the 3-round pound-for-pound champion of the world, but I just don't know what happens to him after 3 rounds. It's like the wheels come off at the first sign of adversity. The Valera guy who got in there with Barrera, I don't know what to think, dude. He looked like a crafty dude who could fight on the streets and learned a lot of street tactics, but he didn't look professional to me. Now, I know he has some type of pedigree and background, but I guarantee you there's a lot of layoff in between fights in his career. And Shabranskyy, you guys have detailed his background, but he doesn't look mediocre or far from even elite or good. And to me, it's just like, if you're giving me Barrera and Kovalev, I want to see them at least matched against what I deem as comparable competition. Not these fucking throwaways who are like, you know, I can't even, you don't give me a barometer when they beat these guys. So that's the part I hate about these HBO cards, man. I like to talk about Kovalev. Nobody's talking about what I deem as a suicide admission. Kovalev had went and synced God, talked to monks. He said he got in this fatal car accident we heard nothing about. And he says it's a miracle he was alive. To me, that sounds like, you know, Kovalev might have tried to, you know, end it all because, you know, every time we get a fighter that thinks he's superior to other men because of race, and this goes for black guys too, like Bernard Hopkins did that shit. Guess what's coming soon? An ass kicking from a dude from that race. And Kovalev couldn't swallow a fucking black dude from the Bay Area with a mohawk being tougher than him. He couldn't swallow it. So the motherfucker had to go seek God and all kind of shit. So, but yeah, man, I think that's what we heard last night. But yeah, that's my call though, guys.
Thanks. That is a faux hawk, not a mohawk.
Oh,
hawk.
Nah, it's a faux hawk. It's like a faded, you know, a mohawk is like real abrupt cut and hawked. The
Now,
faux hawk
is more like forward. That's the whole point of like it's a faux hawk. It's forward.
No, faux hawk is faded. Mohawk.
Yo, you know you're talking to Cash Wheezy. Your name ain't Matt Wheezy.
Named Matt Hunter.
You know my name there, casual.
Talk to me about rifles and shit.
Yo, Gabe in Salt Lake City.
Yo, what's going on? Yeah, man, I think Gamboa, was given a gift. I want to say it was a robbery because Gamboa had spots of, his old self that Slick was just moving, just footwork was nice, but Sosa did win. And, I've been listening to all your guys' past shows. I'm going to bring some old shit up. My bad, but whatever. Ness, you've already admitted to it. You are definitely the Thurman protector. I don't know if he gets that much credit for the Danny win that you're trying to give him. You say he got those two top five guys in the weight class with Sean Porter and Danny. But does Danny really count? Arguably he lost against Lamont Peterson. Arguably he lost against Herrera in Puerto Rico. And, he was accomplished at 140, but he had questionable losses. And then when he come up to 47, like you said, people were salivating just to get in the ring with Danny because they knew it would be an easy win and a good money fight. So, I don't know.
Gabe, the only loophole in your argument is that he's still top 5. With the loss to Thurman, he's still top 5.
Touche. You know what? I didn't think of that, and you are. Yeah, but man, is he really top 5? Like, if you throw up Mikey at 147, who would you favor, Mikey?
Yeah,
or Danny
but now you're doing what everyone else is doing with Crawford, ranking him at a division without actually fighting. I mean, I guess you can do that, but I don't get into those games.
So you didn't have Danny ranked like top 5 when he was making his transition to 147?
No, I mean, look at the guys he fought in his transition. They were catch weights, but remember, I was the same guy that wanted him to go that route. That's the way that you normally go when you move up in weight. Crawford is about to do it differently, but Peterson did the same. You're supposed to gradually go into the weight. That's the way the olden guys done it.
Yeah, and I, you know what? I am going to give you the point about Danny still being top 5.
It's by default, Gabe. Listen, it's
the Spencer fan.
It's by default, to be honest, because right? It's like you got Thurman number 1. You got who the hell is left? Earl.
That's arguable. Right?
Who, Matt?
Earl and Sean, obviously.
Yeah, Earl, Sean, that's 3 right there. Thurman, Earl, Sean. So it's just like, you got to say Danny. Who else are you going to say? Like, even if you want to put Jeff Horn, right? All right, you put Jeff Horn because he got the belt. There's still one more spot. Are you giving it to Jesse? Are you giving it to Lamont? Are you giving it to who?
Pacquiao. Like, maybe some people aren't, de-ranking Pacquiao as much. I don't know. But again, Danny's top 5. He is.
All right. And at the very least, Matt, check it out. Here goes another like loophole, right? Because at the very least, he's not top 5. He's top 6. Like, he's still okay in his life. That's his bubble. We could try and discredit as much as possible, but it's not going to make any difference. His accomplishments still are ranking him at least top 6. And then if you want to be like extra, it's like, all right, bro, he's top 10 welterweight in the world. Like, it's default, but it is what it is. He's there.
Yeah. All right, man. That was my call. Thanks, guys.
No problem, Gabe.
Gave him a lesson.
No, not a lesson.
I gave him a ranking lesson. I mean, that was a great comeback. He's top 5.
It's not really a lesson. It's just like I said, it's default, bro. Like, these are the guys that we have, and that's the way that the cookie crumbles, But the good thing is that all these guys could fight each other. See, Brandon, Jesse, Danny, Crawford, Jeff Horn, like Keith, all those could mix it up. They just have to be more frequent. And the thing is, everyone is looking for the Canelo fight. So in that division, the Canelo fight is the Keith fight, or the Jeff Horn fight, or the Pacquiao fight. Still, if Pacquiao says he's fighting, all these guys will want a shot at Pacquiao. Let's go to Suleiman the Scholar in New York City. Suleiman, talk to us.
Hey, how you doing? Ness?
So yeah, so like yesterday Gamboa, he didn't look that bad. Gamboa, you know, I mean, he still got flashes of his real class, you know, and the guy didn't take advantage of some of the mistakes that Gamboa did. So I think he won that fight fair and square, you know. And then Shabranskyy, he take a lot of shots though. He took a lot of haymakers to get put away, you know. And I think this is a perfect time for Kovalev to try to do that unification fight with Adonis now. And Manuel Child, Manuel Child, you don't want to give him his props. He's gonna have to fight Fresno Kendo next. He's mandatory for that belt. And then Amir Mansour, he still haven't got a world title shot. The Eric Molina for two world titles. He got 2 world title opportunities. All these other fighters got world title opportunity, and Amir Mansour still to this day has not got the opportunity. It'd be nice if Manuel Child gave him the opportunity after he beats Fresno Kendo. You guys have a great night. Thank you.
Man, Suleiman, you know, I don't want to see Fresno Kendo. He's like 44 years old, hasn't done anything to earn a mandatory. He's just been sitting on his mandatory. Remember, he was even trying to have a mandatory with Shannon Briggs for that belt. It's just, you know, the WBA, we really need to start questioning him, man. I mean, there's nothing else that could be said. This is just getting crazy, especially in the heavyweight division. Now that you like wipe the coal out, child, you can see some bullshit is going on.
There's some bullshit going on with all these sanctioning bodies right now. That's just a fact.
Yes, it is. We're live in Orlando. Majid, talk to us.
Yeah, man, just calling in. I think that Gamboa fight, I mean, the best I can make out of that bullshit decision is I'm surprised Gamboa actually survived to the end of the fight, going on 3 weeks' notice, but bullshit is bullshit. And I was happy to see Kovalev back or whatever. I didn't really know who Shabranskyy was or whatever, but I just want to see if Kovalev could collect those belts like he was doing before, because before Andre Ward beat his ass, he was the man and everything. So I believe he could get back there, and I want to see him do it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I mean, his power is definitely there, but you know, we'll see could he do it versus these other guys. 323, first time caller, 323-253. 323-253. First time caller.
How you doing? I just wanted to take it back for a minute, about a week back. How you feel about the Durrell brothers and this fight that, you know, Anthony Durrell just had with the Mama's Boy, Dennis the Mama's Boy Douglas?
Man, we talked about it, bro. But my DVR cut off halfway. But yo, the Mama's Boy actually had, you know, he was looking good the first couple of rounds. I mean, don't get me wrong, Durrell was landing some good shots, but to me, it felt like Douglas was doing more work in terms of activity. But again, my DVR cut out somewhere around a 6, man. And that's because it's on Fox Sports 1. You know, they do live sporting over there, so they push back the normal time because I don't know. I think it was what sport was playing, but I didn't get to watch it on. It's not online, bro. And I think it's not online because up until where I was watching, Durrell didn't look good, and maybe they don't want it out there, but it's not online. If someone could send me a link of a YouTube channel or something, I'll take it. But you know, I'm a HD horse, so make sure it's at least 720. But what did you think of the fight?
Absolutely. I feel like the Mama's Boy, man, this was a good comeback fight for him after having a big layoff. He put in work for Anthony Durrell to have a big name. And the Mama's Boy being there with a lot of the best of them, he went in there and put in some work. If you watch the fight card, which you say you didn't get a chance to, there was a lot of guys that was busted open that continue to fight. You know what I'm saying? And so for Durrell to cop out of this fight and just quit with this cut, that was really nothing. It was kind of like, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, clearly the Mama's Boy was taking all the rounds. You know what I'm saying? He got caught with some good shots, but he was clearly winning the round. So for it to go to the decision where it did, I mean, not a loss, but at least a no contest or a draw. But clearly he would have had a TKO for stoppage.
Well, all right, brother. Like I said, man, I wish I could have watched it more, you know, to the end. Because look, I had no clue that there was a cut. All I seen, remember, Matt, I came on here telling you, like, bro, Douglas was looking good, and I was watching it on the live show again until it cut out. So yeah, and you know what? He had been, they had told him about that fight for a while. I don't know if, maybe this was a second opportunity that the fight came back around, but I had spoken to him, and he that was something that was already in the pipeline for him. Let's go out to Gary in Dallas. What's up?
What's going on, fellas? I thought Kovalev looked real good. It was good to see him come back. I thought Shabranskyy was going to put up a good fight. I didn't know what to expect. They both have good power. I thought that, I didn't know what to expect, and Kovalev handled him real easily. Two things, though. I think you guys are being real disrespectful to Kell Brook. You guys are making it sound like he's some bum. He lost his stance. It's not like he got knocked out to Total Karass or Sam Egerton. He lost his stance.
Wait, Gary. Hold, Gary. Hold. How are we being disrespectful? Because we want him to get a tune-up?
And very quickly, we don't think he's like. Hold on, Gary. Very quickly, I also want to add. We don't think he's a bum, but he just went through 2 hard fights where he got finished, and he had broken bones. Surgery. So that's why we want to give him an easy touch to ease back into the sport. Absolutely.
How is that being mean to him or disrespectful?
You're saying Rios and names like that, just get him an easy win. I'm saying at 54, Laura and Charlo, after that, he could beat J-Rock. He could beat Hurd. He could pick Hurd apart. Hurd's flawed. I mean, after Charlo and Laura, let's see how he looks at 54. I think Harrison, I'd like to see him fight Margarito because people like to see Margarito get beat up. I like to see that. But I favor him against anyone at 54 besides Laura and Charlo. I mean,
so that's the first fight you want him to have. You want him to have you want him to have J-Rock his first fight at 54? Because Eddie Hearn was on this show saying that Harrison is not the way that they want to go as his first fight. So if he doesn't want Harrison,
his first fight, I like to see Harrison. I like to see Margarito just because I like to see Margarito get beat up. But Harrison would be fine. Something like that first to test it out. And then his second fight, I'd like to see him fight J-Rock.
But that's what I'm saying. Eddie didn't even think Harrison was fine.
Who did Eddie want? Something easier than that? Egerton's fighting at 154, he says. Is that something that he wants? I mean, how much easier does he want than Harrison?
He wants it very easy because his fighter just received 2 broken orbital bones in back-to-back fights. Some guys never come back from one of those.
All right. That's fair. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was Sosa, the Sosa fight real quick. Because I feel like this is Pacquiao-Bradley all over again, where I scored for Bradley the first fight and everyone else is calling me crazy. Because I scored it 6 rounds to 4 for Gamboa, so I had it even after the knockdown and the deduction. I had 5 of the first 6 rounds for Gamboa. And then I scored the 8th round for Gamboa. I thought he dominated the first half of the fight. I mean, I don't see Sosa doing much work there early.
Gary, you are off your rocker. I'm just going to tell you. But God bless your soul, I mean, the good thing is Gamboa Sosa isn't big enough that we got to see it again and we got to argue about it. That was your round, though. But, man, Godspeed, my friend. Scoring like that, Godspeed. 813-476. First time caller. 813-476. First time caller. All right. Cat got his tongue. Shy. Joshua, New Orleans, talk to me.
How y'all doing tonight? I'm kind of glad you got me right after Gary, because what Gary don't realize is that 154, that's going to be big problems for Kell Brook. Kell Brook was, if you want to say he was able to dominate some way at 147 due to his size advantage over most guys, until he met a true welterweight, similar size, similar frame. But the thing about that 154, a lot of guys
are going to be similar in strength and size to Kell Brook. Now, Kell Brook might be a little more muscular, but for his density and what his body is, he's going to struggle at 154. Harrison, J-Rock, all them dudes give him trouble. And like y'all pointed out, him and them broken eye bones, it's going to be a hard time for him. So I don't know what Kell Brook really want to do. And it's going to be real hard for him to move up to 154. Last night, Gamboa, I was really thinking that they was trying to maybe take Gamboa up to feed food him for Lomachenko, because I don't see how he got away with that win. He looked real bad, and he started off decently in the beginning of the fight, but then he started getting careless, his balance. He got stamina issues, and I'm seriously think the dude may have been juicing at some point in his career, because I don't understand how he just lose all his abilities. What happened to the speed? What happened to the power? Okay, he didn't have the speed and the explosion, but he had no power last night. So I'm convinced the dude may have been cheating at one point in time. Last night, Kovalev did what he was supposed to do against a guy that was tailor-made for him. I didn't like the commentary, how they hyped him up, how they was trying to say that Jim Lampley went as far as saying that, like, the war fight ain't never happened. But the truth be told, Kovalev is only good until you get in the ring with a dominant fighter. So Shabranskyy and his trainer, I don't get it. I don't see how they didn't just watch the war fight and see what the dude needed to do to survive. The dude didn't go in there with no game plan whatsoever. He got in there and became a punching bag, and that's why he got laced out in the second round. The Barrera fight. Barrera is going to struggle with Kovalev. He needs to stay away from Kovalev for a good little while. And Kovalev is the top dog right now until somebody else can get into that inside and work their body. Y'all got anything? Oh, I do have a question. What is Frampton being sued for?
Breach of contract, looks like. But he's also putting in.
That's what happened when you try to.
I was just gonna say
you try to avoid fighters and you try to hop around.
I was also gonna say he's also counter suing. But Joshua, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Bo in Alabama. Talk to us.
TBV, what's good?
Another day, another podcast.
It's been something irking me for a little. Yeah, it's been something irking me for a little while, man. Tell me this. If there were extra rounds in a boxing match, what would you call them? Championship round, bonus rounds, something like that. But the TBV overtime, like, we don't even. When the last time you even watched a sport other than boxing, this? You don't even watch other sports, and you talking about overtime, man? Come on, man. Let's get championship rounds or bonus rounds or something going on.
Oh, that should be the name of it, championship rounds?
Yeah, bonus round, something other. I mean, you don't even watch sports with overtime, man. Come on.
Yo, that was Matt's idea.
Let's think about it.
It was Matt's idea to do overtime. He's like,
now, Matt a Laker fan, though, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
He watched a few. Yeah, Matt watched a few other sports. Okay, so if it's Matt's idea, I do understand, but I would like it to be more boxing related. And then another thing, kind of off subject. What's that?
I said we can figure something out. We can maybe do another Patreon show that's called something more boxing centric. We can do something.
Yeah, we got to keep it boxing, man. This is where the hardcore is at, man. Another thing, border wars. You start doing them push-ups yet, Matt? It ain't too late. We don't want to take another loss, baby.
Don't worry about it, man.
Win.
Don't worry about Nest, though. Nest finally has a fight. He's been eating donuts and bagels and shit for the last 3 weeks. God knows what shape.
Look, I haven't been seeing the Patreon updates as much as I was when he came off vacation. At first, he was doing good, and it's getting a little sketchy now.
No, listen, I stopped training.
Kind of like Alex now.
No, I stopped training because I ain't had no opponent. My opponent, fell out. I didn't have a fight, and I thought I was off the card. I just found out today. that I got to fight. The dude paid, so now it's back to train. It's over now. You know, all he did was pay to get his ass whooped. That's all.
You know who I want to see you go against next?
Line him up.
Ego. Boxing Ego. That dude with the other channel. Yeah, that's real. That's real right there.
Yo, the link is open to anybody.
I don't think he would get in there with you, especially if he ever get a hold of that other footage, what you did to the bodybuilder. But yeah, Matt, get on them push-ups, man. I want to see you get this victory. That's all Matt. I got, man.
Bo and Bama, thanks for calling in.
He looked good. He just need to get on them push-ups.
I told him the same thing. He don't want to listen, man.
I don't want to listen.
Because you ain't reporting that you're doing 100 push-ups a day.
Because I'm not doing 100 push-ups a day.
Exactly.
Other workouts. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't need to do just push-ups and fucking work out.
It's a power right. You frail, B. Wind blows and it pushes you around.
I actually like do weightlifting, not like just push-ups.
Oh, Tim Bradley, he's over. He's over. Tim Bradley. 830-325. First time caller. 830-325. First time caller.
Hello?
First time caller, my friend.
Hello? Yes.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and play this first time caller intro. Let the world know your name, where you're calling from.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
It's Ruben from Texas.
Talk to us, Ruben.
Oh, man. I was watching that Gamboa fight yesterday. That was a blank-out robbery for Sosa. And then I got a question for you guys. Do you think like Golden Boy trying to put Gamboa with Machado?
They're definitely trying to keep him valuable for somebody. Listen, you got to get off a speaker. You're giving crazy feedback, Ruben. I hate to keep you on mute as a first-time caller. If you could get off speaker, we'll come right back to you. Are you? What do you say?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
All right.
Give me. Hello?
Yes, sir, Ruben.
Yeah, I mean, the question was, do you think Gamboa is going to go against Machado, like Golden Boy was saying, for a long time?
I mean,
because what I see is that he goes against Machado with that he did last night, and I think Machado will knock him out.
Yeah, I thought Sosa was going to knock him out, so I'm pretty sure a young, up-and-coming, hungry
Me too.
Machado.
I was going for Sosa, and he get. Well, how you going to score a fight 92, 98? Come on, the guy got a point deduction and
a knockdown.
He got knocked out when. I mean, I don't know about Gamboa. I thought he was finished after the Crawford fight. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I'm smelling retirement coming upon him. Either he's gonna do it, or they're gonna do it for him.
Yeah, because I mean he's not the same guy anymore. I mean the Kovalev Shabranskyy guy. How does Shabranskyy get even a shot in the title when? Well, he looks awful. Yes.
Yeah, politics, brother.
And then the Barrera guy, I don't know what he's gonna do with it when he goes against Kovalev.
Yeah, he's got.
What was the name? Barrera, whatever his name was.
Barrera versus Valera.
I don't know about that guy Barrera. I think they hyped him up too much. I don't know. I mean, that's my point of view. I don't know about you guys, how you guys think, but I think that Barrera guy needs some work.
Yeah, he definitely needs a step aside before he goes straight into a Kovalev fight, but he is the #1 mandatory for Dmitry Bivol. So he'll probably go that way, and it's probably better for him. Bivol, while everyone thinks is really good, doesn't have the experience in terms of pro fights, so probably better Barrera go in that direction. Ruben, thank you for calling in.
Before we go to the next caller, he may be the mandatory to Dmitry Bivol, who is the WBA champion. But like we've been talking about this entire show, the WBA doesn't really enforce mandatories. So God knows if Barrera can even get that fight.
This is true. This is very true. Let's go to, what do we have here? 323-253. 323-253. First time caller. 323-253. Just listening, my friend. It's okay to just listen. All right, we're moving on. 248-408. 248-408. First time caller.
What's up, man? What's up, man? I'm at work right now. What's good? First time caller.
All right. Can you get off speaker? We're going to get and play this first time caller intro. You introduce yourself. Let the world know your name, where you're calling from. Remember, no speaker, no Bluetooth. Sounds so much better. The world will know who you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
It's your boy, Paulie from Pontiac, man, outside Metro Detroit. I just want to call in and say this, man. Y'all show is the shit, man. I love you dudes, man. Ness, you be having me cracking up, man. You be on there blazing and shit, man. Matt, y'all the homies, man. I just started watching y'all heavy a couple months ago. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the DBEs. Shout out to the Boxing Nation, the Dantes, you know, Boxing Ego, all of y'all. Y'all been putting in work. But look, this off topic, but on topic. What's up with a new boxing game? Can we as fans, YouTubers, push this, man, like we be pushing these fights? I'm waiting for a new boxing game because I'm tired of playing the old one, man. I'm ready to put in some work, knock some of these dudes out, man. Let's push for Floyd to just go ahead and make it happen, man. Let's get this new boxing game. What y'all think?
I think that the issue is always going to be the licensing fees. You know what I mean? These fighters, I mean, look how much of the divas they are to make a fight. So it's about like how much they're going to want. Not only want up front, but residually too, because they want, you know, royalties. It's like, nah, you're gonna sell X amount of copies. It's gonna be around forever. You're gonna have my face on the cover. Yada yada yada. So much.
And very quickly, the UFC, when you sign a contract to the UFC, that's why there's a UFC game so many times. You give over your likeness rights to the UFC. That's why it's so much easier for a company like EA to just negotiate with one entity, which is the UFC, than negotiate with multiple promoters, multiple fighters. Dozens at least, because they don't sign over their likeness rights like UFC fighters do.
I think they should pay the fighters like celebrity movie stars, because you know, these video games are making movie numbers, but they also cost movie budget to make. So you know, they should just you know, pay them as an actor and you know, call it a day, because I want that video game too.
Yo, but even actors get residuals, don't they? Get royalties?
Not all of them. The superstars like the Will Smith, you know,
that's the thing. You think Crawford doesn't think he's a star, and Floyd doesn't think he's a star?
First off, there's two kinds. There's like, yo, you're gonna get $25 million for this contract, right, for this movie, or there's the you don't get paid anything, and if the movie does well, you own this percentage. So you know, it could be a fighter wants a big chunk, or he wants to wait and get the royalty.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Then you got to make those type of contracts with each individual fighter.
Yeah, but I believe that the fight boxing game would do very well. You know what I'm saying? These games are sorted after, and they should be able to afford to pay the fighters. I
think they know. You don't think they know how many copies of the last fight nights they've sold and didn't sell? Like they know. If it was a big seller, if it was a Madden, there would be.
But they had good names on it. They had to Zab Judah. They had Victor Ortiz.
Yeah, but I'm not saying they didn't have good names. I'm saying if it was a seller, it would be like Madden and 2K that every year is there because they know they got numbers. People pre-order.
Well, how they pay for that, man? The football players, because that one's repeat.
I'm telling you, dog. When the money is right, they make it happen. I think that the fighters are too much of divas. Everybody wants their own individual contract from EA, and EA's like, fuck that. When I could just deal with the NFL, the NBA, take the likeness of everybody, pay one licensing fee, probably.
Right. Remember, all those other sports, they have players associations who have bargained for all these contracts. So you no longer have to negotiate with every player in the NFL. You just negotiate with the NFL because of the Players Association.
Right. It's just easier, bro. Like, it's like, yo, he goes to the association, he gets the likenesses of every team. Whereas over here, you got to get the likeness of every fighter. And yo, imagine, you know what I'm saying? Ishe Smith gonna be like, yo, word is born, fam. Yo, I need 100 mil. Like, you don't know who's gonna try and act all funny because they want to, you know, be or not be in this game. It's just,
Well, you don't get to be in the game then. You know what I'm saying?
right. You're right, but that causes holes in your game. Like, I remember when I used to play it and Tyson wasn't in it. I was like, this is some bullshit. Then a couple years later, I was in it. You know, I liked it, and then Floyd was in it, but not Pacquiao. And I'm like, this is some bullshit. Then you can make Tyson. Like, you had a code. Man, it's just like bullshit. Give me the fucking real game. Don't give me bullshit. All right? 813-476. What up? First time caller? First time caller? First time caller?
Hello?
813-476 is if it's your first time calling in, my friend.
Yes.
I'm gonna
all day long.
I'm gonna get and play this first time caller intro. Let the world know your name, where you're calling from.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yeah, this the almighty King to see, straight out of Brooklyn, baby.
Talk to us, brother.
Yeah. I heard your previous caller. You said you didn't see the Anthony Durrell Douglas fight.
Well,
You know
I
what
didn't
I'm
see
saying?
all the
Man, I
rounds.
press you
I
to-
didn't see all the rounds because my DVR stopped recording. I did see. I thought was at least, for argument's sake, the first three.
Okay. But man, I just can't see how an ex-world champ would even allow a fight to be stopped over a hairline cut. I'm saying this, like, when I say some corny stuff, I press everybody to make sure you find a fight, look at the fight, find a day to call you back and comment on the fight. Cause yo, when I say straight bullshit. He shouldn't even have a title fight coming up. Nothing. He said have to redo that or something, man. When I say crazy, that's not what boxers do. That's what punks do. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I mean, dude ain't even go back to his corner. They just stop the joint. Then you're going a deduction. Douglas got a deduction because he threw Durrell down, but Durrell threw him down. He ain't getting no deduction. I'm saying, yo, if you see, it was so one-sided. These dudes fighting, Durrell fighting and talking to the referee at the same time. What kind of shit is what the fuck are they doing? Excuse my French, but I'm just saying, it's kind of pissed off how the boxing game's starting to go, man. Real unfair, bro.
I hear you, man. Like I told the last caller, someone else called in tonight talking about that fight. Seems like they scrubbed the internet, bro. They don't want that fight shown, man, because like I said, my DVR didn't get it all. And I tried getting it on PBC's YouTube and just YouTube in general. I haven't been able to find a copy. Like I said, I'm employing our listeners. If you've seen it, call in. If you have a link, send it my way on any social media, at the Boxing Voice. And let's get to the bottom of it. Like I said, I mean, I remember watching it here live for the first couple of rounds and being upset when the DVR missed. And you guys even heard me, I thought Douglas was doing well in the beginning. But let me go out to Skype. We got Alexander Bully. What up?
Yo, my man Ness, what's going on, man? Yeah, just to go back to the last point when you lot was talking about the video game, I know what you mean with all the licensing and the not being the boxing umbrella like there is in soccer over here or the NFL and stuff. It might be very hard to get their actual likeness, but who remembers Ready to Rumble? That was my game back in the day. They need to bring something like that.
That was good.
And loosely base it off the fight. Like loosely, if you got like the flashy American who's all about the money, we know it's Floyd. You know what I'm saying? And do that for all the different superstar fighters. Some shit like that. Because you're right, we need a boxing game in these streets. And when they had Michael Buffer saying, let's get ready to rumble, that was like what really got me into boxing. Because that was that game, man. So yeah, they need to do something like that. Because we need some more content around boxing, man. There's the Boxing Voice, there's boxing, but there's nothing else, man. So yeah, video game would definitely bang. And as for Kovalev, he looked okay. Power's still there, but that man, he's a broken man. And you can see it. I think Adonis Stevenson KO'd that nigga right now. because he ain't got the juice like he had before. When the shine goes off you, when everyone thinks you're the monster, and then someone break you down like Andre Ward did, you get looked at differently. And then when you know that you can be beaten and you bleed and you're a human being, Kovalev is done, man. Kovalev is done.
Alexander, thanks for calling in. And listen, I want to remind everybody, hey, you guys want us to do an EA Sports petition show? Yo, head on over to theboxingvoice.com/on-demand. Set up an on-demand show, make it a quick 30-minute thing, and then we could definitely put it out there, you know, get the content rolling and see if it gets the wheels moving. Just find it extremely difficult. I like Alexander Bully's idea. I remember Ready to Rumble. I had that. I want to say that was like on not a regular gaming console, right? Was it? Was it just like it wasn't like PlayStation.
NES, right? Like, was it on like a Nintendo?
It was like Turbo Graphics or something. What was it on, Bully?
Shit, I don't know, man. I think
Genesis.
It was like
I think it was a Genesis.
Dreamcast. You're right. I like Dreamcast. It could have been that. Yeah, it was like some weird console that didn't make the cut. You know what I mean? So maybe a comeback of Ready to Rumble. They had Michael Buffer's licensing fee on there, and he would say, let's get Ready to Rumble on it. So whatever. Let's jump back out to Skype. We got I forgot where he said he was calling in from, but Alex, where's he calling in from? I forgot. I always forget these things.
Yo, Canada, bro.
Canada, that's right. You know what it is that you got the Cuban accent, but you're in Canada. I'm just always, I can never pinpoint. I always want to say he's calling in from Miami or a Cuba itself, right? But like, go ahead anyway.
Yeah, maybe soon. I'm moving to Miami soon. Don't worry about it. But yo, I was just calling in to the people who are saying that Gamboa robbed Jason Sosa, man. That's what you get. Tell me how it feels, man. Because it's always us that are getting robbed. I mean, Cubans get robbed all the time, bro. We've been getting robbed for years, since the 60s, bro. Come on. It actually felt good to see be happen to the other way around. I was like, no?
There's robberies in the sport.
And in the same time, otherwise he won't win. They will rob him too, man.
Yo, Alex.
And Julian Barrera always does good. He's always doing really good. So good for him. I'm always supporting him. You know, I ride with Cubans, you know, till the wheels fall off. But bro, the video game is a good idea because you could even make more money. You could like have streaming. You could stream your games, bro. And there's people that make money doing that shit. You could do mashups like Lomachenko versus Rigo on the video games before the fights, you know?
I mean, you know, only if they make it, buddy. Only if they make it. Listen, Alexander, thanks for calling in all the way in Canada. Soon to be way of Miami, like, what's his name? David Hay.
Yo, I used to affiliate Alex's voice with Canadian Jose until I met him. I was like, wait, he doesn't speak that way.
Until you met Jose, you mean?
Yeah, I used to think he was Canadian Jose's voice.
Yeah.
Canadian.
So we've come to that time, early Sunday, final thought day. Final thoughts. Joseph Parker signing a fight. Lucas, good and bad. Like bad in the sense you showed your card, good in the sense that it's a good card for you and the Australian heavyweight. The two of you should make some noise, get some ticket sales. Sergey Kovalev, I'm not sold on the whole I'm back headline, but I do believe he's back. Just how far along back he is, I guess we'll have to see as the level of opposition turns, starts to pick up. Jason Sosa, yo, I salute you. You did a great job. Unfortunately, you and your fight were the black eye on boxing this weekend. Keep your head up. Hopefully HBO brings you back, gives you a return, and just let your hands go, bro. Just let them go a little bit more. Kell Brook, man, I can't believe someone found the way to say that we were disrespectful to you. I thought setting you up with like a Harrison, and all the other names I mentioned was being generous. I am excited to see what you will do. I'll be tuned in and ready to report on it once you do. My name is Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. And remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you and congratulations to all our subscribers. Together, we've reached over 60,000. Matt will be releasing the Bob Arum interview.
It is dropped. It's been
dropped already. He's a man of his word. You can go hear Bob Arum himself tell Nestor Gibbs how he is not putting Joseph Parker in the ring with Anthony Joshua. So all this posturing can just be to keep Joseph Parker's name in the media and get some exposure off Anthony Joshua. Don't believe me? Go listen to the interview for yourself. And you'll also hear that your boy Toyota Corolla also isn't gonna fight anyone that you think he's gonna fight. He'll build his resume in China or Japan and then come back and try and fight Triple G a year from now.
Oh, I don't think he said that. I think he said 2018. Again, I mean, I could be wrong. You could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. Now all you got to do is go listen to it yourself. I'm done. What's your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Joseph Parker versus Lucas Browne, like you said, good and bad. I think it's a really fun fight. It may not be the fight that's the best for the heavyweight division right now, though. And that's where I think a lot of people are sort of like, we don't want to see that right now. Sergey Kovalev definitely having a bounce back fight. Definitely looked impressive. Looked like he was back in form. But what does that mean? Is he the best guy in the division? Not necessarily, but he's definitely back to form. That is without a doubt, because that's what a Sergey Kovalev does to guys like a Shabranskyy. He goes out there and ices him in 2 rounds. Gamboa versus Jason Sosa. I mean, you had some people call in and say that Gamboa won. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be just riding with yours because you're Cuban and saying, well, we've been screwed in the past, so, how does it feel now? As a boxing fan, you should want 0 robberies. You should want the best scoring available. You should want the best judging and officiating available. And that's not what we got here. Point blank period. Kell Brook, salute to you for coming back. I was actually kind of thinking you were done. I was thinking you were gonna fade off. You got paid some good money in the Earl Spence fight and the Triple G fight, but you're coming back into a higher division. Good luck to you, man. Hope you pick wisely for that tune-up fight. And Carl Frampton, good luck to you as well, man. Legal battles are nothing to scoff at in this sport, so hopefully you get it squared away ASAP and come back, because you have a ton of fans here in this sport, and we want to see you fight the Leo Santa Cruzes, the Abner Marizes, the Oscar Valdezes. We want to see those fights. So hopefully that gets cleared up ASAP. I'm Matt the Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. Kaz Weezy, take it away.
Yes, my final thoughts on Sergey Kovalev. Same Kovalev, man. He still needs to continue to do that soul searching, number one, because he did pull off a win, but against a guy that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who that guy is. I don't know how serious he is. I would like to see him with Donna Stevenson come in. That is going to happen, according to you guys. It's not. Sullivan, what's his name? Nah, never mind. But Gamboa. If Gamboa's people are listening, I'm still a fan. I just want him to look good, and it's not happening. I gave him a lot of chances, man. So those are my final thoughts. I'm gonna be going to the city this week with Ness, hopefully, and produce a movie, another TBV interview. Who's fighting Saddam Ali and Miguel Cotto. So I'm excited about that, to get back in this camera. Yeah, you can follow me on TBV_casual fan is my Twitter. I like to tweet a lot during the fight. My Instagram is @FightTalk, and I am launching tomorrow, boxingfanapparel.com. Look me up. Look it up. Look it up. Is there overtime, Ness and Matt?
Not today. Not today.
Not today. We ain't gonna talk about Cardi B flashing the audience.
Oh my God, yo! The only bad thing about that was that I was let down, because I'm like, damn, they fake.
We always knew that, though.
We always knew that. She says they fake.
I know. I hear you, but I don't follow her enough, and I kind of hope. I mean, look,
I actually really liked it. I was like, whoa, I like the complexion.
You're welcome. Both of you.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely gonna kick it overtime, but it ain't gonna be today.
We could talk video games and topless.
Yeah, he in the mood to talk. My man in the mood. You ready to be back like Kovalev?
Nah, not like Kovalev.
Not like Kovalev. Just like half.
Shout out to Bruce, the AP, and he just purchased on demand the other day. but he found us Anthony Durrell versus Dennis Douglas. So we're gonna definitely check that out and give it his just due.
Shout out to Brew, man. Shout out to Brew for always hitting me up on the DM.
Yeah, Brew keeps it
yes.
Brew rolls it down. I guess that is it. Peace.
Peace.